Good morning, everyone. Myself, Joash Ezekiel. I am from SIS College of Art, Science and Commerce, Nerul. I am a third year PMS student, and today I am going to present on the topic Definition of Money and Security as per CGST Act. Now, before we go and see what is the definition of money and security, let us see what is tax and what is GST. GST is a comprehensive, multi-stage, destination-based indirect tax levied on the supply of goods and services. GST was introduced in India on 1st July 2007, and the major reason for introducing GST was to remove the cascading effect of tax. Cascading effect means there was, before the introduction of GST, there was tax on tax, which was paid by the businessmen and the vendors. So, to reduce these complications and for easy of business, there were introduction of GST, which removed all the other taxes and was submerged into one, which was known as goods and service tax. Now, before moving on to knowing the meaning of money and security, let us see what is definition of goods and service supply. Goods means every kind of movable property other than money and securities, but includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass, and things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be served before supply under a contract of supply. Service means anything other than goods, money, and security, but includes activity relating to the use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other mode from one form, currency or denomination, to another form, currency or denomination for which a separate consideration is charged. Now that we have seen the definition of good and supply and how it is excluding money and security from its definition. Now let us see what is the definition of money. Money, as defined under the section 2, subsection 75 of the CGST Act says, money means Indian legal tender or foreign currency, includes check, promissory notes, bills of exchange, letter of credit, also includes electronic money and any instrument recognized by the RBI. In simple words, we can say money itself is not a good or service. Now, the definition of security, as defined under Section 2, subsection 101 of the CGST Act, says that securities have same meaning as assigned in the Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, includes shares, stocks, bonds, debentures, derivatives, mutual fund units, etc. Securities are neither goods nor service under GST. Therefore, transactions in securities are outside GST. Now let us see what is the treatment of money under the GST law. As we have read in the definition of goods and supply, and also in the definition of money and security, we know that money is excluded from the definition. However, services related to money, that is, bank charges, forex services, are taxable. Now, if I give an example, if Mr. A company takes a loan of 50 lakhs from a bank, the loan amount which he has taken, in this case, is 50 lakhs, is not taxable for GST, and the interest which pays on this loan is exempted. And but the processing fees, for instance, we say 25,000, in this GST is applicable. And under the current GST rate, the rate on processing fees is 18%. So Mr. A here is liable to pay 18% of 25,000 as GST to the bank and the bank will pay that GST to the government. Now let us see the treatment of security under the GST Act. Securities as are excluded from the definition of goods and service. Transaction in shares, stocks, and bonds are not subject to GST. But, however, brokerage or commission earned on trading securities are taxable. For an example, we can say if Mr. A buys share worth of 10 lakh rupees through a broker, the value of share which he buys is not taxable under GST, but the brokerage he pays to that broker, suppose 5,000, GST is applicable on that. GST is levied only on brokerage and not on share values. So, when we conclude the whole definition of money and security, we can say that money and securities are specifically excluded from the definition of goods and services. Therefore, we can conclude that mere transfer of money is not supply under GST. Sale or purchase of security is not taxable under GST. However, service related to money and security, such as bank charges, brokerages, processing fees, forex, conversion rates, are taxable under GST. GST is a tax on goods and services, not a financial instrument like money and securities themselves. Understanding this distinction is crucial to ensure correct tax compliances and avoid misclarification. So this was my presentation on the topic definition of money and security and its treatment by the GST law. Thank you.